My name's Andrew. I'm 54 years old and I currently live in the beautiful city of Geelong. And I'm here to tell you, or how to explain to you, how I managed to turn my life around. Uh, it started probably in 2012 when I went through a horrible divorce and everything, and I had 4 children and basically ended up with nothing and almost took my life. But we won't go into that. We'll talk about more how to turn your negatives into a positive. Before we progress though, I'd like to make sure that, if you are going to leave me comments, if you're going to leave a negative comment, I won't even look at it. So I don't deal in negativity anymore. Negativity is a thing that brings people down and ends up in, not very good situations. So I don't want to deal with negativity. But at some point you've got to, first of all, you have to get to the moment where what we call the draw the line in the sand moment, where you realize that you have to leave everything behind, everything. And you step over that line and you start your new life and start to move forward. I was left with a lot of debts and everything like that, and yes, I still have some of those debts, but I'm learning to cope with them, and I'm learning to move forward with the support of a wonderful wife. And that's another key thing. You've got to have that support network. I have got an amazing bunch of friends who have all supported me through my, I suppose, you would call it depression, and I've managed to get out of it. And my journey from now on is upwards as far as I'm concerned. Dealing with the negativity, it's always good to read good books. Books are very motivational. I've got a couple of them that I read, religiously. Like, one is The Secret, which I'm sure a lot of people you've heard. And one of the main phrases in that is thoughts become things. And it's amazing how the way the law of the universe works, and things will actually, if you think all negative thoughts, then hey, the universe will chuck more negative thoughts out of you. But you've got to ask yourself, how do you get out of those negative thoughts into positive thoughts? And I suppose you have to look for happy moments in your life, happy places in your life, things where you can remember the good times. And I think if you can always have that as a grounding, where you can go to those good thoughts and bring yourself back out of those negative sides, because believe me, when you have those negative thoughts, the world just throws you more and more negative thoughts, and it's not good. It isn't good. And I've been times when, still now, I get moments where I get pulled right down into the sand, and I find a struggle to get out of it. But I know that I'm a fighter. I'm determined, and I know that I can always get myself out of situations, because that's just the type of person that I am. I learn to cope with these things, because you're only on this earth once, and make the most of it, and life is too short to be miserable. But I understand how things can make you miserable, and there are factors that contribute to this, and I can see how people turn to drinks, drugs, etc., and they never progress any further, and it's a nasty downward spiral. So you have to realize at what point you want to pick up your life and get that line in the sand moment and think, no, that's it. I've had enough of this. This is my time now. My time to move forward, to enjoy my life and progress. Now, one of the main factors that I've found is that all these things that bring you down and bring negativity is you have certain defining moments in your life where you can relate to that moment in your life where you became so negative, like a certain traumatic event it happened, and that's where all things relate back to, whether it's a divorce, whether it's like abuse as a child or anything like that. These things do affect you for the rest of your life, and it's finding those points or those areas where you can bring it down, I suppose, and then it's just moving on from that and progressing forward and becoming more and more positive about it. So you have to try and find that area that brought you down, and that can do some mindset, and I do a lot of meditating to take you back to that negative time in your life to get yourself out of it. How we do this is by It's an old thing that that I've done many a time. It's where you basically close your eyes and you relax, and you totally relax, and you think of the colour that you like. Normally people think of blue because it's a calm colour, and once you've got that blue colour, and it's lovely, don't make it a dark blue, make it a nice pale, like, beautiful blue sky blue. Once you've done that, you imagine yourself that there's grass now, so you're bringing in grass and you're bringing in the sky. Once you've done that, I want you to imagine there's a beautiful little cottage, and you see this beautiful little cottage. This is all in your mind whilst your eyes are closed. And you go into this cottage, and it's the most quaint little cottage. It's got a beautiful little country setting. It's got a door, beautiful little, it's gorgeous, flowers all around it. And you go into this little cottage. It's your cottage. And you go into it, and by the fire there's this beautiful large rocking chair. And what you do is you sit in that rocking chair, and this takes you a long time. You've got to visualize all this. Once you're in that rocking chair, there's a photograph album by your side. Now that photograph album is all photographs from your memories, all right? And it's all in your mind. Believe me, you can trace your photographic mind all the way back to as far back as you want to go. I don't think about a baby, but to the point where you can remember things. But first of all, before you open that photograph album, you have to remember a real happy time in your life. Whether it's getting your first Christmas present or anything like that, you have to remember that. That's vital. Now, when you open up this book, you go back in your mind. Now, you go back to that traumatic time. All right. Now, when you get back to that traumatic time, your mind will open up these images, and it'll be images, and they're all stuck in your mind. It's like a massive big movie, and you see all these images come flying at you. But you must remember, if there's images there that you can't cope with, you have to go back to that happy memory. So go back to when you remember Christmas, or getting married, or have the birth of a child, anything like that, so you can escape the nasty pictures. What this is doing to you is it's making you clear your mind of those bad thoughts. So you're coming backwards and forwards, and you imagine when you get to that bad thought, you're ripping it up. You're ripping that photograph up and you're throwing it in the fire. And you do this, and it's getting rid of those things. And that's how I've learned to deal with a lot of traumatic stuff in my past, and things that I don't want to remember, because I'm moving forward. Now, once you've done all this, you then get to that point, and when you're happy with your soul, you can stay in that photograph album as long as you like. But it's fascinating, because you do remember things that you haven't thought of for a long, long time. And when you open it up and you go back like 10, 20, 30 years, I don't know how old you are, I'm 54, so I can go back 50 odd years, but you come back with these most amazing images, things that you've completely forgotten about, and they're all there in your mind. And this is the beginning of how I've discovered my journey from negativity into positivity. I still do it to this day, but now I do it for happy memories all the time. I sometimes just go and sit on the beach and I listen. That's where I am at the moment. I'm down near the beach. I don't know if you can see it. So down here on the beach. So it's just creating those happy thoughts and moving forward. So once you've done that, and you've had enough of delving into this photographic album, is to close it. And you must come out of this meditation the same way that you went in. So basically you come in, you put the photograph album back on the table by the chair, and then you come out of the door and you walk up the garden path, and then you open your eyes. That's the first bit of my journey that I did in order to get away from this negativity that's basically, it ruined my life. It devastated my life. And then from that point on, I've learned to cope with situations. I find that people can throw a lot of stuff at me now and it doesn't stick. And that's what a lot of negative people are trying to do. They're trying to throw things at you so that they stick. And you've got to be above that and come above that. I'm going to make this into a series of videos, etc., so that you can cover my journey and follow my journey. And please leave comments. As I say, more positive comments the better. I don't deal with negatives, so good luck with leaving me a negative comment, because it won't last. So I hope you enjoyed this little first bit of intrusion in how I got from negativity to positivity. And next week I'll do the same thing, and I'll tell you what phase 2 was. There'll be lots of journeys, but I want to carry this on for as long as I can and tell you, and ask people, please ask questions and I tell you if I can help you or not. But hey, it's been great doing this, and this is in a way is a relief as well by doing this and talking to you all. So hey, thanks for watching. Bye bye.